Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will get straight to the news. Quick summary what I'm going to show you today. We will start with straight to the point words towards Zelensky from President Trump. Then I will remind some of people who forgot what kind of person Zelensky is. Like a short clip with a mentally disabled person who was forced into fighting for Ukraine. Then we will go to a few words from Zelensky. This is from yesterday. And also I have some statements from President Putin, as well as from Sergei Lavrov, who is addressing Polish troops in Ukraine. Then we will end with Radosław Sikorski, Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs. Thank you, USA, post on Twitter after Nord Stream pipeline poof. And we will end the video with a comment of the day. So without further ado, let me take you to the post on Instagram. I'm sure it's on other platforms as well. This is from President Trump, posted about 17 hours ago. Who says this? Think of it. A modestly successful comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the US and Trump, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't Sleepy Joe demand equalization and that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money we sent to him is missing. He refuses to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. Isn't it he referring to the piano? I think it's pretty obvious. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something all admit only Trump and the Trump administration can do. Biden never tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelensky has done a terrible job. His country is shattered, and millions have unnecessarily died. And so it continues. So this is the post from President Trump. I think you can find it on Truth Social and other platforms. Since I use Instagram, that's what I am showing you. So guys, I've seen a lot of comments, actually even on Polish channels, how he can speak like this, how he can be so cruel, and this is not diplomatic, that he is just, this is not the right way to approach Zelensky, and Zelensky represents Ukraine and this and that. It amazes me. It amazes me how delusional, how, I don't know if people don't realize how many lives have been lost because of Zelensky's decisions, of course, influenced by other forces. However, he was the one who was executing those decisions. How many lives have been lost? How many dreams have been broken? How many families have been broken? And the level of cruelty forcing those people to fight, knowing that there is no point of doing this because they are not going to win this war anyway. I'm going to take you now to a short clip from Rumble. This is maybe not the most cruel video, but it just shows you a still level of cruelty, because it shows you a soldier who is mocking mentally disabled man who truly believes that he was put in this position to fight. He was recruited to be in the army. Very short clip. So let me take you there.
Ну, диви, кого мене підізвали. Ану, ану. Вок! Що там, малий?
Торгую.
А де твій автомат?
Не дали ще. Сказали, в бою.
Да. Чуєш, а то як його? Ну, скорів їбашить будеш?
Поставив.
It's heartbreaking, and I know this is not the most cruel one. I'm sure many of us seen many of those videos, how those people were forced into that battlefield. Probably this man is no longer alive. And there is a high chance that his family was probably watching this video. So this is my thing. If anyone says that Zelensky has to be included, I have zero respect or compassion for that creature. Now let's go to President Putin and his words about when meeting between Trump and him will take place, and also about Europeans, what they were saying about Trump, how they were trying to interfere with US elections, and what President Putin thinks about it. So let's start with the first video, and then I will present you the next one.
Мы сейчас видели в ходе этой предвыборной кампании, но все европейские лидеры, все без исключения, фактически напрямую вмешивались в избирательный процесс в США. Дело дошло до прямых оскорблений одного из кандидатов. Мы со своей стороны, конечно, было ясно, кому мы симпатизируем, но мы не позволяли себе вмешиваться, и уж тем более не позволяли никаких резких заявлений и оскорбительных выпадов в отношении кого бы то ни было из кандидатов. Мы этого просто не делали, а европейцы делали. Я вообще, честно говоря, удивляюсь на сдержанности вновь избранного президента Соединенных Штатов Трампа в отношении своих союзников, которые вели себя подобным, прямо скажем, хамским образом. Он еще достаточно интеллигентно себя ведет в их отношениях, но они не закрываются от этого. Ведь если мы говорим о украинском регулировании, Соединенные Штаты работают со своими европейскими союзниками. Господин Келлог, насколько мне известно, сейчас в Киеве находится, да? До этого он встречался с европейцами. Это должно быть подготовлено. Я с удовольствием встречусь с Дональдом, мы давно очень не виделись. И у нас нет никаких близких отношений, но все-таки предыдущие годы, за 4 года работы, когда он был президентом, мы встречались и ровно очень обсуждали наши межгосударственные отношения. Я с удовольствием с ним встречусь сегодня. Я думаю, что он тоже.
I believe this was in St. Petersburg, where Putin was yesterday. Just side note, we also have the same word we use in Polish, chamski, which means rude, disrespectful, like very extra rude, very rude, chamski. So my Russian viewers will probably know exactly what I'm talking about here. Now let me take you to the second clip with President Trump, and then we will go to Sergei Lavrov.
Первое, второе, я оцениваю их высоко. Результат есть. Первое, о чем бы хотел сказать, это о том, что мы договорились возобновить в нормальном режиме работу дипломатических ведомств. Постоянное выдворение дипломатов из Вашингтона, из Москвы ни к чему хорошему не приводит. У нас, если так дело дальше пойдет, в этих зданиях будут работать только одни уборщицы, чей труд тоже, безусловно, надо ценить, но это не то, ради чего создаются дипломатические представительства. Это первое. Второе, мы, на мой взгляд, сделали первый шаг для того, чтобы возобновить работу по самым разным направлениям, которые представляют взаимный интерес. Это и Ближний Восток в широком смысле этого слова, имею в виду и присутствие до сих пор в Сирии, палестино-израильское урегулирование, и так далее. Там очень много вопросов, в решении которых вовлечены и Соединенные Штаты, и Российская Федерация, несмотря на то, что, конечно, первостепенное значение мы уделяем ситуации, связанной с украинским направлением. Но у нас есть и другие вопросы, и экономика, и наша совместная работа на мировых энергетических рынках. Поэтому в целом, вот, да, космос, конечно. Ведь, несмотря на все проблемы предыдущих 3 лет, у нас продолжается работа в космосе. И на МКС работают как американские астронавты, так и российские космонавты. Работа продолжается, и перспективы есть хорошие. Все вот это было предметом обсуждения, предметом рассмотрения на встрече ВЭ. Оценка положительная. Да, и, извините, и в целом, как мне докладывали, она была очень доброжелательной. Как мне сказали наши участники, совсем с американской стороны были совсем другие люди, которые были открыты для переговорного процесса, без всякой предвзятости, без всяких осуждений того, что было сделано в прошлом. Во всяком случае, в двусторонних контактах этого ничего не было, но настроены на совместную работу, открытые для совместной работы.
So pretty clear message. First, you have to establish the foundation for any form of communication. And like President Putin said, if this would continue as it was going, soon only janitors and those people who are cleaning those diplomatic offices would remain left there because none of the diplomats would be even present. Ridiculous, right? So this is pretty clear and common sense. You have to start with that. But in my opinion, what's going to happen is United States and Russia will come to an agreement and Europe will be left on its own to solve its own problems. And if people don't change the governments in their countries, they will continue this misery they have. Now, let me take you to Mr. Sergei Lavrov, who was asked about European troops in Ukraine. And he referred to statements from Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs, Radosław Sikorski. Thank you, USA Post. So let me take you to that press conference. This was the day before yesterday that Sergei Lavrov was answering those questions.
RT International. I cannot help but ask. Immediately after the meeting ended, a lot of information was released, citing some sources close to the diplomatic process about some 3-stage plan that Russia allegedly agreed on with the United States regarding Ukraine. Is this true? And the second question, if I may, before this meeting, the United States sent such an interesting questionnaire to the European Union where they asked what Europe could offer in terms of providing some security guarantees in Ukraine. There is a question about the introduction of a military contingent into the territory of Ukraine. How does Moscow feel about this? As for the first question about there being some kind of 3-point plan, I have not seen this information. I have not seen these reports. True, today, when I was watching the news, I found a link to a statement by Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski, who was talking somewhere in the corridors of Munich about how he had met with U.S. Representative Keith Kellogg. And Kellogg had informed him about some kind of settlement plan. It was not said whether it was 3 points or 4. But Sikorski, commenting on this plan, said that he could not reveal the details. This is an atypical plan, but it could be very interesting. I asked Rubio and Waltz today what this means. They said it was fake. The second question is about the information that has appeared that the Americans asked the European Union a whole series of questions in order to better understand what the European Union is going to do and how the Americans can be useful or involved here. I mentioned this, but I also mentioned that there is a specific topic regarding the potential deployment of some armed forces or peacekeepers, allegedly after the conflict has already been resolved or an agreement has been reached. These contingents, as mentioned in this paper, are of interest to the Americans from the point of view of which countries are ready to provide them. But it is clear that this question is addressed to the members of the European Union. We explained to our interlocutors today that we very well noticed that President Trump in several of his speeches was the first among Western leaders to clearly say that drawing Ukraine into NATO is one of the main reasons for what is happening. That this is one of the biggest mistakes of Biden and his administration, and that if Trump were president, he would not allow this. In this regard, we explained to our colleagues today that President Putin has repeatedly emphasized that NATO expansion, the absorption of Ukraine by the North Atlantic Alliance, is a direct threat to the interests of the Russian Federation. It is a direct threat to our sovereignty. And therefore, as we explained today, the appearance of troops of the armed forces from the same NATO countries, but under a foreign flag, under the flag of the European Union or under national flags, does not change anything in this regard. Of course, this is unacceptable for us. CAS agency, please.
So also pretty clear message, common sense message, as we all know. And this is Sikorski. I think this is from yesterday. Very short clip. He's very cocky, isn't he? When you look at him, the arrogance on the face, can't hide it.
The US changing course on its foreign policy, and that isolation might not be the way forward.
I'm not sure I understand your second question, but your first question about foreign troops. My answer is the following. The whole point of Ukraine's resistance against Russian aggression is that it is Ukraine that wants to decide about what foreign troops, if any, should be on her territory. It is up to Ukraine, not Russia.
Thank you all. We will wrap it up now. Thank you, Mr. David McAllister. Thank you, Mr.
Well, besides the arrogance, you also see enormous anger, deeply suppressed, that soon will not be able to be suppressed, and it will come to the surface. And then we will see how emotionally mature this individual is when things are not going according to his plan or others' plan. Whoever is behind him, probably Soros? Look at my yesterday's video. I want to remind you, those of you who are watching and appreciate the content, it's free of charge. If you hit the like button, the thumbs up, it really helps the channel with YouTube algorithm, and YouTube recommends the video to more people who will never come across this kind of news, and maybe someone will also appreciate the content I provide. With this being said, I was thinking to go to Zelensky, but I think we have enough of hearing his voice and looking at him. We are at this point when we just want tribunals, pretty much. Let me take you to the comment of the day yesterday, which is a very good comment, and I so appreciate it. And I would like to know your thoughts on this. Yesterday, I posted a video in which I was showing you the clip from Mar-a-Lago, in which President Trump was reading the list with social security spending and the age groups. And there was one person who was 360 years old. and many millions of people who were over 100 or 200 years old. And someone left this comment, Linda Hockman, who said, "I am just guessing, but I suspect the voter lists are somehow connected to this database." And I think this is such a on-point comment. I actually left you my response, bingo, which I believe this is exactly all connected. And I don't know what kind of database it is, if this is Dominion or if it's something else that they are using, but I really appreciate your comment, Linda. Thank you so much for leaving this. I have such a savvy and intelligent and connected to deeper knowing audience that I couldn't ask for any better audience than you guys. I want to thank you for watching my videos, subscribing to my channel. Maybe you can help me to get to 150,000 subscribers this year. Everything is possible. I would really appreciate if you follow me on Instagram. Let me take you there for a moment, because I also would like to have more followers and then show you my trips. This is my Instagram. It's @AniaK_44. You will see many beautiful pictures, especially from Russia. If you scroll down, this is from Washington, from my latest trip to United States. And if you would like to support my work, the best way to do it is by becoming my Patreon supporter on Locals, donating on PayPal, or buying me a coffee. And with this being said, you find all the links down below in the description box. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye everyone.